Hello and welcome back to all our dear listeners. This is a new episode on this channel. I am Shanto, your cheerful host, and with me is Bria.
Hi everyone. It's great to have you here with us again.
Today we will discuss on most common problem, which is I understand English but can't speak. Many people say that I understand what others are saying but I cannot speak. I want to hear about your problem with speaking English. This episode is a solution to it. After this, we will explain some words and phrases within sentences that you can use daily. So make sure to watch the video at the end. Before we begin our discussion, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Hey Bria, how's it going?
Hey Shanto, I'm alright. There's something that's been on my mind lately. I've been feeling a little frustrated with my English.
Really? I thought your English was pretty good. You read a lot in English.
Yeah, reading is fine, and even listening to English isn't a problem. I can watch movies without subtitles and follow along without issues. But whenever I have to speak, I freeze up. My mind goes blank, and I don't know how to respond naturally. I understand English perfectly, but when it's my turn to speak, I just can't.
That sounds tough, but it's a pretty common issue. There are tons of people who understand English but struggle with speaking. Sometimes it's just a confidence thing, but sometimes it's about needing more practice in conversation.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like I just don't know the words when I try to speak, even though I've read them so many times.
You know what could help? Try setting small, manageable goals for speaking practice. Start by talking to yourself or even thinking in English about things around you. If you build up your inner monologue in English, it can become easier to translate that to spoke words when you talk to someone else.
Talking to myself, so I describe whatever I'm doing.
Exactly. It could be anything. I'm making breakfast, I'm going for a walk, or even thoughts like, I should call my friend later. By doing that, you'll practice structuring sentences. Then, when you need to say those types of sentences in a conversation, you'll be more prepared.
That's interesting. I've never thought of that. So it's like mentally rehearsing sentences I might need later.
Yup. And you could start recording yourself too. Just pick a topic, like talking about your day or describing something you like, and record it on your phone. It doesn't have to be perfect, but when you listen back, you'll hear which parts were a little awkward, or where you hesitated.
That makes sense. I think listening to myself could help me hear where I'm struggling. But what about feeling more natural when I speak? I'm worried I might sound too textbook sometimes.
That's fair. You might want to try consuming more casual English, like podcasts or YouTube channels that have conversational English. Hearing how native speakers talk informally can give you a sense of flow. Plus, you'll pick up little phrases and fillers people use, which will make you sound more natural.
So, watch more conversations instead of just reading books or news. I guess that would help me get a better feel for everyday language.
Exactly. News and textbooks give you the basics, but if you want to speak naturally, conversational stuff is key. You could even repeat phrases you hear to yourself right after hearing them to get used to saying them.
That's a good idea. Repeating phrases could help with my fluency. What about practicing with someone? Do you think that would be useful?
Definitely. Practicing with someone is probably the best thing you can do. You could try language exchange apps, where you can find native English speakers who want to practice your language. You can help each other out, and it's usually very informal.
I'm a little nervous about that, though. What if I mess up?
That's understandable. But remember, they're also learning, so they're probably just as nervous about making mistakes in your language. And honestly, the only way to get better is to push through those first awkward conversations. Every time you do, it'll get a bit easier.
True. I guess I need to remind myself it's okay to make mistakes. Do you think a script would help me at first, so I don't get stuck?
A script is a great starting point. You could plan out how you want to introduce yourself, or common things you'd say, like talking about your day or hobbies, but try to keep it flexible. Like bullet points rather than word-for-word sentences. That way you won't get too focused on saying everything perfectly.
So maybe just a few phrases like, "Hi, my name is Arjun and I'm interested in," so I can start naturally. Then I could go with the flow.
Yes, exactly. It's like having training wheels. Eventually, you'll feel comfortable enough that you won't need the script. And don't be afraid to ask your conversation partner for help if you don't know how to say something. Most people are happy to explain.
I like these ideas. So, talk to myself, record my voice, watch conversations, repeat phrases, and maybe even try out a language exchange app. That sounds like a solid plan.
Definitely. And don't forget to celebrate the small wins. Even a tiny improvement in fluency is something to be proud of. With a bit of time and practice, you'll see a big difference.
This has honestly given me so much motivation to start practicing more. I'll keep you updated on how it goes.
Please do. I'm sure you'll be speaking like a pro in no time. Good luck. Let's see what we learned from this conversation. 1. Speaking practice. Start talking to yourself and thinking in English about things around you. 2. Start recording your voice on a phone or another device. 3. Listen to podcasts. Hearing how native speakers talk informally can give you a sense of flow. 4. Repeat the sentences, phrases, and words which you heard. 5. If you feel nervous, write a script before speaking. Now let's look at some important words from what we've discussed so far. The first word is struggle. The struggle is a verb, and it means to experience difficulty and make a very great effort to do something. For example, fish struggle for survival when the water level drops in the lake. The second word is awkward. Awkward is an adjective, and it means difficult to use, do, or deal with. For example, it's an awkward corner, so take it slowly. The third word is flexible. Flexible is an adjective, and it means able to change or be changed easily according to the situation. For example, my schedule is flexible. I could arrange to meet with you any day next week. Now the idioms. The first idiom is as easy as pie. As easy as pie means something is very simple or easy to do. For example, I was worried about setting up the new TV, but it turned out to be as easy as pie. The second idiom is be all ears. Be all ears. The idiom be all ears means to be very attentive and ready to listen. When someone says they're all ears, it means they are fully focused on what the other person is about to say and eager to hear it. For example, tell me about your trip. I'm all ears. The third idiom is beat one's brains out. Beat one's brains out means putting in a lot of mental effort, often trying very hard to solve a difficult problem or come up with an idea. It implies intense thinking or struggling with something challenging. For example, I've been beating my brains out trying to come up with a solution to this coding error. We hope you found this useful and learned something new. If you have any topics you want to know about, please tell us in the comments. Your idea might be in our next episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Before you go, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel.